comes from.
Right.
Because then you're hiring people at that same salary of a trained employee that's been there with you for a year or 2 years or 3 years.
And
Right.
that's what they're trying to do with those steps. So, and the farther you don't, every year you miss, is how much farther you've got to come back up down the road. Whether we can get both of them or not, we're going to try. We'll see. But I just want to let y'all know those are what we're looking at right now.
Okay, on top of that, do you anticipate any surprises that might come to us? Or that's on the rise? With the budget?
No, I think right now we're holding with this money. Hopefully that'll keep the rescue squads still operating on their own for the next few years. Regional jail, because of compression and other things there, I think that might be going up. I think Mr. Tanner probably would attest to that.
Absolutely.
Especially due to the fact that we're now 50%. We were about 40%, but due to COVID and releases, we're running 51% of the jail population. So that extra 10% is several $100,000 annually in just the per diems per day. That's where I'm really looking at the largest increase. Other than that, Sheriff's Office is looking at raises for theirs, going with us on that, but not anything huge there. So I think those are going to be your biggest ticket items. But you know, it can, when you've got $300,000 for rescue and another $300,000 to $400,000 for the regional jail, that adds up very quickly towards $1 million.
Get $1 million.
And also, I believe in the state budget too, they had the issue with corrections, DOC, they had the compressions and the starting salaries, so they're having to try to bump theirs up too. And whenever they bump theirs, the regional jail has to bump some, because if not, they lose them to DOC. And
Right. So therefore, that's a never ending. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking you're going to have that's your big one. That's where the biggest one's going to come in. I think it's regional jail. We haven't started that budget, but I am concerned with that just off the 10%. And just like Mr. Tanner said, with regards to the increases in the state, that's going to have to make us competitive. So we're going to have to look at that.
Our health insurance, I don't know if you want, we don't know, our health insurance, we're getting our final renewal tomorrow, but they're predicting 2.9%, Ms. Lundy, I had no chance, that's good, that's wonderful, a 2.9%
yeah.
increase.
Sandra, is the pandemic, how is it affecting tax collections?
Sandra, could you come to the podium and answer? Sorry.
Now,
They
been good.
Online, they can't.
you said that they had actually collected more.
Year before.
Chairman Barber, as far as tax collections are concerned, I have done some comparison from years previous to this one. Our tax collection in 2020 was better than the year before.
Yeah.
And right now, we have, as far as current taxes are concerned, our collection rate is good. We did last year kind of lay off on some of the delinquent collections, such as doing wage liens and things like that because of the pandemic. But quite frankly, we're going to get started back with that as well. So as far as current taxes, the people that have always paid are still always paying.
Okay, all right, excellent.
Before you go, around the state, have you heard of the trend? Most counties like Mecklenburg doing good, or you hear some counties are down or struggling? Or
There are some
trade-
counties that are down, just depending on, the situation in those counties. Quite frankly, here, I feel like people have continued to work. I think as far as our businesses are concerned, I mean, I know our restaurants and stuff like that, we've had some of those that have not been able to make it. But for the most part, I think we've been very steady. But yes, there are other localities that are suffering. And a lot of the other localities, as we have not done their delinquent collections, and they've suffered greatly from that. But I think as a whole, we've done fine.
Great. Thank
Mr. Spain, and looking, a lot of localities also are trying to do what we're doing with regards to salary increases. I don't know if you noticed, but Henrico was looking at a $57 million increase this year, trying to push their salaries both for the county side and schools forward. Chesterfield also is looking at heavy increases there. So a lot of communities are looking at trying, because it's been 2 years and they've fallen behind, and the private economy was keeping going, so therefore they've fallen even farther behind. So they're trying to catch back up with regards to salaries. Although, as Sandra said, there are some localities in reading newspapers across the state that are suffering. They're not seeing really any increases. Many of our neighbors are not, have not seen any increases with regards to economic growth besides,
Sure.
for example, there haven't been a lot of announcements across the state.
Yep.
So that side really hasn't grown as much as they would like, but, some businesses are continuing to grow. So, I think that's an issue, but everyone also is looking at, they don't want to increase taxes. I haven't heard of really anybody besides Halifax that's got a proposed tax increase. They're looking at 50 to 52%, 50 cents going to 52. And they're having that discussion. They can go back, as they said, but they couldn't go up. So that's what they've advertised on theirs to be discussed, but that's all I know of. They're increasing it all.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm not on this committee, but that 1% sale tax.
that was discussed at your committee, Ms. Lundy, the sales tax, but that is an increase in taxes when you do it, because you are increasing taxes for everybody across the board. That is an option. We have not discussed really at this time, because y'all were using your current economic growth to pay for it. But that's up to the boards as to whether y'all want to go out with a sales tax to be dedicated to schools. Last year we didn't because of the national election and the fact that we were trying to get the new school open, as we discussed, to show what we could do with that money. So, well, that's a board decision, ma'am. That's always on the table for you all.
But the reevaluations pretty much keep our rate where it is, because property values continue to climb.
Yes, I think you can see the building permits. We've been
Yeah,
very blessed
I
in
did.
that. These homes that we're getting, none of our neighboring communities have anything like that. And then the additions and everything else. And lake properties are not going down in value, would you say, Ed?
No.
So I think next year you're going to see, because next year again is a reevaluation year? Next year. Yes. So that'll be going back out again, but I don't see that decreasing right now. Every contractor I know has a year's work looking at them before they even start.
Right.
And of course, we've had growth through Microsoft, so. That's all I have, Mr. Spain.
If there's nothing else, any other comment for the Budget Finance Committee? If not, let's conclude our meeting. We'll stand adjourned to the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to call this meeting of the Economic Development Committee to order. The first thing on it is the prison contract for a booster station.
Yes, sir. We've got a lot of utilities today. We did receive 4 bids on this one. This is for the old prison campus, currently owned by Microsoft. The low bid was for $1,436,700.
Is Waco a company we've dealt with many
We
times?
have not, the engineering firms have, but we have not dealt with them before. But they didn't seem to have any issue, the B&B didn't, with the fact, they were expecting a bid from them.
Okay. Well, what's committee's pleasure on this?
Motion, we approve the bid.
Approve Waco?
Yes.
The
The low bid.
Okay. Motion's been made. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next thing is the sewer lift station in Forest, Maine, at the Timber Sewer Site. The lift station for the sewer.
Yes, sir. And again, on the rest of these, you're really not seeing a lot of bids. The bidding climate is very good, especially for utilities. We have used HG Reynolds before. They've done some sewer work for us, and they actually built the courthouse. And they've done some trail work for us also. So they've one that has worked in the past.
Okay. You hear a motion?
Motion approved.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The next one is the timber site also for a booster station.
Yes, sir. Again, this is Waco is the low bid contractor. A little bit a different price because of, I think, the length of piping, et cetera. But they're the recommended low bidder.
Okay.
to approve the low bid.
Motion's been made to approve the low bid, Waco. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And the last one,
Two.
the ground storage tanks.
Yes, sir. Those are the exact same bids for both the timber and prison campus. These are for two 1 million gallon glass line tanks to be used for water for both sites for the data centers. So therefore, that's on both of those. It was 1,526,50.
And they were the only bid.
Yes, sir. Mid-Atlantic Storage bid the last ones we did at the glass line tanks. They've done the one that was on Highway 92 that serves towards Chase City. They did the one at the regional landfill, Mr. Jennings, and they did the one, the two tanks at the BN campus for us. So we've worked with them several times in the past.
All right. Entertain a motion.
A motion for the lowest bid.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
One question, Wayne, on these booster stations, because I was looking through the bids. Are they putting generators at these booster stations?
There is a generator at the one we have. If not, I know where there will be, because that has to, as part of the redundancy, that was something that has been put in at that one. And actually, they ran, the company did, but I'll double check on that. And if not, we'll
Because
have
I
to
just
go
want,
back.
I know we don't want to have any issues with it.
If not, we'll have to go back in and do that.
Right.
We actually put one in at the BN campus. Actually, the company did, and we still have that one there. But I'll double check with Randy on that on tomorrow, and I'll get you an email back.
And one question, the generator be run off propane?
Diesel.
Diesel, okay.
Yes, sir. All
They
these are
run
diesel
along.
because there is,
Diesel.
no, let me rephrase that. I think they are propane. But they, the one at BN was diesel that they put in, if I'm not mistaken. But they actually have those set up because there's no natural gas in that area, so that.
All right. Any other matters?
Thought run off away, diesel.
Diesel. Those have belly tanks.
Any other matters?
No, sir.
Mr. Wayne, any other matters?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hearing so, this committee is adjourned.
Record time.